Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Oh, almost done. Almost done. And that makes me sad.
I know. There's so little Jason left.
I'm saddened.
I am.
Saddened. Yeah. And this is, in a way, to me, it feels like the last one, even though it's not.
It kind of technically is, because it's like the end of the original continuity. Thus far. It's the end of my Jason. You know, folks, welcome to a brand new episode of MASKHOLES. Go watch the other ones. I'm not going to explain it. We're balls deep in Jason Voorhees. We're balls deep in his MASKHOLES.
Yep. And this was brought to you by our wonderful producer, Chris Shanovich. Thank you so much. Chris Shanovich had the very obvious idea that didn't occur to us to do a Friday the 13th podcast.
Which is weird, because we started this channel pretty much just streaming the Friday the 13th video game.
We built our empire on Jason Voorhees'
victims. Back. Yeah. On his weird, gray, rotting back.
Yeah. We've been to Manhattan, Tom. We've been to hell. We've been to space.
Into the future and space at the same time.
We've had a long journey, and now it's time for...
We've scorpioned David Cronenberg.
Yeah, we sure have.
We watched Crispin Glover dance. We watched Kevin Bacon get lanced.
Yes, oh boy, did we. And it had been too long. It took way too long for this. This is Freddy versus Jason, a movie that was like a decade in the making.
More than. I think they were even...
Yeah, more.
I didn't do the BTS research that you did, and I mean behind the scenes and not the K-pop band.
When you say research, do you mean copying and pasting a Wikipedia page?
Yes, I noticed that this was just the entirety of the Wikipedia page.
Well, I was trying to take pieces, and I was like, "Fuck, this is all like."
Just scan the stuff that you want to keep in mind.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read it all. But
I do feel like I remember this movie being talked about all the way back in the 80s, you know, before we even got the teaser ending at the end of Jason Goes to Hell.
Well, yeah, the teaser ending was there probably because the fans wanted it. It was probably in magazines, and you know, like there was probably
I remember it, that when I saw that, I didn't see it in the theater. Obviously, no one would sell me a ticket to that movie in 1993, but I saw it on Showtime many times.
Yeah.
And seeing that ending, I do remember seeing that ending for the first time, being like, what? They're finally going to do it? And it took them 10 more years.
Yeah, exactly. So they had to do other movies in the meantime. It was, man, here's my hot take, I guess. At the time, I didn't really appreciate this movie. Now, I'm like, this is probably as good as Freddy versus Jason can be.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, like I don't hate it. When they start fighting, I enjoy it.
It's a blast.
Enjoy that fight. Yeah,
they make good on it. They build up the whole movie towards it, so they really blue balls you.
Yeah,
but when they finally get to fight, it's a lot of fun. It is like the ending of Godzilla versus Kong.
It is, and when we talked about this, I think in a previous episode, but like watching this in 2003, I couldn't fully appreciate the camp of it. Because I am living it, right? And so watching it now to see like new metal and all that shit, I'm like, I appreciate this the same way I appreciate the ones in the 80s now.
I had that exact same thought.
Yeah.
Where it's like, gosh, this is as old. This is actually older than the Jason movies were when I was watching them in high school.
Bummer.
Like, more time has passed in between me seeing Freddy vs. Jason in the theater and now than had passed in between me watching Jason Lives when I was in high school. Because it had been like 12 years since Jason Lives.
There's a lot of nostalgia for the 2000s that I simply will not get. In the sense that I'm like, I wasn't a kid then.
Right, you weren't a kid then. That's why.
Yep. But the one thing I do 100%, it seems, is camp. Is like horror movie campiness of this time. Because the horror movies of this time didn't know they were silly. Like, they didn't know that. Like this, or maybe they did. I don't know. But like we talked, like the rule is if you make a Jason movie, make it of its time. Never try to make it timeless. It's actually very important, I feel like, to do that.
It's an elemental part of... I think it's part of both of them, actually, but
yeah,
definitely Jason.
They have to age like a fine wine. Like, that's how it goes. Where it's like, at the time, people might not appreciate it because they're being attacked. They're like, hey, I like that hairstyle. Thank you very much. You know, like, it feels pandering when it comes out because it's just like, look at all these teens like you.
Yeah.
But now it's very delightful.
Yeah, it's a time capsule.
Yeah, and like I think of like the other ones, like Urban Legend and The Final Destinations, which I think are also very good films, frankly. But
yeah, there's I think post Scream there was not all of these movies, but a whole, like, I feel like the vast majority of them, or at least the majority of the ones that I saw post Scream, all had that little bit of like hip edge to it of being like, we're kind of in on the joke. Like,
yes,
like there was an edge to it that there were like, they were kind of in on the camp, but they still thought they were hip. And it's like, no, this is very silly.
Right, it's meta humor. It's wouldn't it be funny if we were all in a scary movie, guys? And it was a lot of that after Scream, but it's like there's no way you can fathom, like right now as we're talking, there's no way we can fathom what about us is going to be funny in 20 years. You know what I mean? Because it's like...
Well, I think we can guess one thing.
Yeah.
It'll be what we're doing right now.
Yeah, you're right. Podcasting. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
In 20 years, it's going to be blasted into your brain directly. It'll be great.
Yeah, no, these will all be like audio logs in the wasteland.
Yeah.
Or like in Rapture.
Yeah. Yeah, I really want someone discovering this recording, assuming it's important.
Right.
And then
like they're going to get like some sort of locker code out of it or something.
Yeah.
No, we're just talking about Freddy versus Jason. Sorry,
move along.
Sorry. Yeah.
Go find water.
If you're trying to find your way through Fontaine's district, I can't help you, man.
No, sorry.
Fontaine's fishery, you're on your own, dude.
Yep. No exposition here.
Nope.
Anyway, I'll talk a little bit about the long journey, but like I put in paragraphs here. It's all to say that this like all officially started around 1987 with New Line Cinema and Paramount Pictures. And this is the reason, right? Like I'm sure people have talked about this. Like you look back at Who Framed Roger Rabbit and you're like, how did they get that made? How did Warner Brothers and Disney be like, yeah, we will do this together. That sounds exhausting. And so it feels like a lot of this has to do with the fact that like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street simply weren't owned by the same corporations.
Yeah.
And so basically the first time around, no agreement, wouldn't work out. Then Jason Takes Manhattan bombed. And they tried to Sean Cunningham.
I can tell
tried
why.
To, yeah.
It kind of sucks.
He tried to reacquire the rights with New Line Cinema to make a Freddy versus Jason. And I think it was Paramount and New Line wanted the license of Jason. So again, it was like, I want it. No, I want it. Negotiations failed again.
I mean, that's what's happening right now with Jason. I think it's the same entity is still fighting over it.
Well, after Jason Takes Manhattan, the right reverted, and sold the rights were sold to New Line. Jesus Christ. And then another director, Joseph Zito, attempted to revive it. But no one wanted to make it at that point. Let's see. Then Wes Craven returned to New Line to make New Nightmare, which put Freddy vs. Jason on hold completely. And so Cunningham did Jason Goes to Hell. We're still only at Jason Goes to Hell.
Man.
New Line apparently spent $6 million just on development. Oh my God! These days, studios wouldn't do that. They wouldn't pay writers. They had the writer of Deep Star 6 take a crack at it.
Why not?
Yeah, that was going to be Nightmare 13. Freddy meets Jason, which is a delight. It's like Flintstones meet the Jetsons.
Yeah. Nightmare 13. What?
I don't want them to meet. Yeah.
Meeting?
Yeah. This is a.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are they going to a Bad Brain show?
This is a bummer note. David J. Show was given an offer to write the script because he just happened to walk by the office of, I think, the producer. To me, that screams them going, well, what about you? Hey, you want to crack at this?
You got any ideas? Tell me what you think when you hear this. Tell me what you think when you hear this.
Yeah.
Freddy versus Jason.
He revised it to have a cult that worships Freddy Krueger. This is like 1994, it looks like. It still keeps falling apart. Let's see. Eventually, they got the guy who wrote... Let's see. Oh, they got with Peter Briggs, who didn't successfully make Alien vs. Predator, but apparently wrote an Alien vs. Predator that they liked. They gave it to him.
This guy
they gave it to the guys who wrote
this guy.
Then they gave it to the guys who wrote Demon Knight. They were commissioned by Cunningham, and that was going to be Freddy vs. Jason Millennium because it's 1996, and at this point they were like, we know it's not going to fucking come out until like 1999.
Millennium. What if Frank Black was in it?
That would be amazing. This was going to be directed by Rob Bottin, who people might know as the guy who did the effects for The Thing. And it's like, well, shit. They also offered it to Guillermo del Toro and Peter Jackson. Well, and I'm like, fuck, guys, pay them, either of them, anything. I don't know.
Man, what a missed connection.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, Dave? Freddy versus Jason by Guillermo del Toro?
That'd be amazing. God, I'm only like halfway through, but I'm going to keep going. Bottin dropped the current draft of the script and made his own treatment, which was then fleshed out by David S. Goyer and his writing partner.
Of course, you knew that son of a bitch. He's going to have his fingers in the pie somewhere.
This is very funny. The next sentence, just to quote Wikipedia, no parties involved were happy with the script. Leading to Goyer and Robertson exiting the film. I like that because it implies even Goyer.
Right, not even
crap.
the writers. Yeah. Nobody involved was happy with this.
Yep.
Like they're all just sitting around the table, like the news episode of South Park, and they're just like, bail? You guys think bail? Yeah, let's bail. Let's bail on this.
Bottin was clashing with the studio over budget. They gave it to one of the writers of King of the Hill. Or a couple of them to write a new script. That was also disliked by Cunningham. And then Bottin was like, I'm out, guys. 1999, Mark Verheiden. I don't know who this guy is. But he wanted a version with two endings, one with Freddy winning, one with Jason winning. They made a new script. They got Todd Farmer in there, who wrote Jason X. Jesus Christ, just more people.
And a little film called Drive Angry.
Yeah, there was a 120-page script. That's too long. They offered it to Wes Craven, Guillermo del Toro again, Ronnie Yu, all declined. Rob Zombie declined to make House of a Thousand Corpses.
We're getting closer.
Yeah, is this the guy?
Ronnie Yu is the director, I think.
Ronnie Yu's the director. Okay, so this other guy campaigned, but yeah, you ultimately said okay. after being given, quote, an enormous amount of creative freedom.
I thought you were about to say money.
Yeah, me too. They were also
finally agreed after an enormous amount of money.
Yep. They were also wanted Pinhead in there, but they couldn't get the rights. They did a hard reset here. Or no, they didn't. They finally landed on it. And then the Jason of it all. Kane Hodder was not used. They thought they wanted a fresh restart for Jason. And they chose another guy.
I had also remembered reading at the time that it's because Kane Hodder's too big.
Like that's funny because according to this, they want a taller guy.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Maybe
Kurtzinger.
It was well, and he's the line cook that Jason beats the hell out of, and Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah, I guess apparently they hired him because he was taller than Robert Englund. So maybe I don't know. Maybe
I had remembered reading, and this is probably apocryphal, I guess, but that part of the reason they recast him was because they didn't want him to be too much bigger than Freddy.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, because they have to fight. And frankly, I don't know where to put this, but when you step back and go Freddy versus Jason, you realize at a certain point you're like, well, is that really a fight? I guess if they do it right. Again, they balance it right because it's like if he's in Freddy's dream world, then yeah, that is a fight. But the moment Freddy is vulnerable,
yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, that was the thing that, as a kid, that always puzzled. I mean, I still wanted to see the movie, but the thing that always puzzled me is I was like, well, how are they gonna Jason? Right. Jason doesn't dream. How are they?
Right.
How are they even gonna meet?
Yeah. And then if they did meet on equal grounds, it just felt like Bambi versus Godzilla. It was just that where it's like, oh, I think Jason would just pummel them.
Right, yeah, one of them is a zombie Hulk tank that can't die, and the other one's a child molester.
Yeah. And yeah, it's child molester versus neglected child, which is very fitting. That it's sort of like the yin and yang, right? On the same time, it's also like Freddy is like, I'm so weird and what I'm so he's molesty to everyone,
right?
Where Jason is like, no sex. So they're perfect opposites, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of beautiful. It's like a poem.
It is, yeah. You're right. They're the alpha and the omega of teen sex.
Yeah. So let's begin the podcast, I guess.
17 minutes in.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about the plot, and then we're going to, of course, follow Jason through it. Then we're going to rate the kills. Or no, we're going to name the second best monsters, then rate the kills. And so, just for the
plot...
we
don't rate all the kills. We go through the kills, and we rate the best one.
We rate the best one, yeah. So for the plot... I guess we could use the plot summary to talk more about Freddy than Jason.
Well, it starts with a VO from Freddy. He's going they forgot about me. I used to be cutting people up.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know if this is true, but this is the first time I remember them being explicit.
Yeah.
With Freddy.
What do you mean?
Or did they start doing that in the sequels where they were because in the original Nightmare they sort of Wes Craven pulled back and they sort of kind of glossed over the idea that he was a child molester and just didn't for at the last minute Craven pulled back, so they removed direct references to that. I think
the remake
the remake definitely is in there, but I was I felt like this, when I saw this movie in the theaters, I felt like this was the first time I'd seen a Nightmare movie where they were directly Freddy Krueger is a pedophile. Yeah. He's a murdering pedophile.
I don't know. So here's my honest truth.
I mean, it was always
Freddy
clear
Krueger.
Before, but you know what I mean?
But here's my personal view on Freddy Krueger. I've seen most of the movies, maybe all, but I've only watched them maybe once, twice. That I'm gonna call this the tattoo judge, the tattoo rule, which is people probably have tattoos of Jason Voorhees, right? And they probably have tattoos of Freddy Krueger, and they probably have tattoos of Chucky. The only one I really understand is Michael Myers and Jason of those, and it's all to say that and I know he's a villain, but I just don't like Freddy Krueger. I don't find him particularly cool. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Where it's like other horror movies.
But like,
yeah, other horror movies, it's like, obviously they're the bad guys, but like Ghostface, people are like, yeah, I want to dress up like him. He's cool. Like,
and
it's like
Ghostface
people
is
like
kind of,
emulating him.
Yeah, Ghostface is kind of funny too, right? He's a clown.
Yeah.
Like, what's unique about that slasher is he gets his ass beat constantly.
Yeah, and Freddy, I just think, is kind of a loser. And so, like, the beginning of this is just like, I'm burning a doll and talking about how I molest kids. And I'm like,
licking
yeah,
the back.
man.
I mean, they start
You
right
just
off.
suck.
Like, he's cornering a little girl in his boiler room. He burns her doll. And then it shows him, like, really, really child molestery licking the back of a photograph to stick in. It's like they want to hit you up top that Freddy sucks and we're supposed to hate him.
Yeah.
Like,
and Robert Englund is killing it. It's not
he's doing great.
him.
No, he's doing he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Exactly. It's
like,
just funny because I'm like...
like, what do you want him to be nice?
Right.
That's this character?
You know the pedestal I'm talking about, right? Where
yes.
It's like,
yeah, it's...
oh, my kid loves Chucky. He wants to be Chucky. You know, it's that. It's just like Freddy, I don't put him in that.
No, it
box.
was weird that he got marketed the same way. Like, he was marketed more aggressively than Jason was in the 80s. There were more Freddy merchandise, at least that I got my hands on, and I guess it's because Freddy actually has a personality.
Yeah,
like you can have, like, he is kind of funny, and he would show up in music videos and stuff and like do his thing. So you got like talking dolls and board games and all this a lot of weird shit built up around this character
who's just kind of like a creep and a coward. Like, he has, the only way he can kill people is by bringing them into a dream, and it's
he's a child murdering demon covered in burned flesh.
Yeah,
like, he is.
He's not fun.
I really like the Nightmare movies because they're unique among slashers in the way that they get to use Freddy's dreams. Not every movie takes advantage. Like the Nightmare remake, for example, really blows it in that department. But in a lot of them, they do really cool, interesting, weird, trippy, surreal shit with Freddy, because that's your it's like Final Destination. The whole point of that is making those Rube Goldberg machines, so that's what gets you excited. So like Freddy is like his dreams. That's what's cool about that.
I think
just to finish that thought, they're not. Freddy himself is not fun, like you were saying. So they're like, I don't rewatch those movies as much because they are genuinely upsetting to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same, like, in that, I forget which one it is, in 3 or maybe it's 5, where he, like, marionettes the guy. They show a clip of it in the beginning of this.
Oh, yeah.
Where he puppets the guy with his veins. It's shit like that. It's like, Freddy movies are unpleasant. They're good horror movies, in my opinion, but they're not fun like Jason's fun.
They're also, they are good horror movies for what they are. I also want to note that, like, except for the first one, and even the first one, I would argue, like, if you pitch this today, like you said, a child molesting demon who's covered in burns and he kills people in their dreams. If you pitch this to like a producer,
in their dreams.
Yeah, if you pitch that to a producer, they'd be like, "Oh, okay, so like an Insidious, like it's really creepy. The character's like in shrouds, and and it's like, no." You see him clearly. He talks all the time and makes puns.
He says
like, time flies, while like smashing you through a clock. And it's like, really?
Now I'm playing with power.
Yeah, it's just like, what? That's such a weird way to do that. Where it's like, you could do a straight up horror version of that premise, but it feels like it never even occurred to them.
He's not wacky in the first one.
He's not, but the first one, he's still more talkative than I would have. But
he talks a lot, but he's more concealed too. Like, you don't see him for a little bit. And he's like, the first one is scary. Like the rest are like, I just got done saying that they're not as fun to watch. They're way more fun than a Saw movie.
They're more bonkers, yeah.
But they're closer to Saw than Jason for me, in that it's just, it's like, I can't rewatch the Saw movies. That's just deeply unpleasant to me. And Nightmare is like, I gotta be in the mood. But the dream sequences are really fucking cool in Nightmare. That's
both
true.
Nightmare and Jason, and I guess not really Halloween, but it's remarkable how some of these franchises, only few, were able to Gremlins to it and then never look back. It's like if they made an It Follows sequel, right? Where the monster was suddenly
he's
zany.
just like drop dead Fred or something. Yeah.
And it's just like, it's weird they got away with that. And people were like, yes, more. And they're like, all right. We were doing it really, there was real nihilism here, but all right.
I think Freddy is like the most shocking pivot.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, he became like a child-friendly merchandising character.
Yes. I remember him a lot as a kid. It's like RoboCop, right? Where you're like, kids love RoboCop, and then you watch RoboCop and you're like, wait, why do kids love RoboCop? Like, I sort of get it. I didn't
have that question. That wasn't the question I had after I saw RoboCop.
Yeah.
The question I had was, why did we... Because, I mean, of course kids like this. Look at him. He's RoboCop.
Right.
He's blowing people away.
That's fair. God. Anyway.
Yeah, we should probably start the podcast.
Again, not being a badass, Freddy's start is, nobody remembers
me. I can't come back if nobody's afraid.
Right, and it's like, man, he's just pathetic.
Really, this is like the worst Shark Tank pitch, dude. Like, you're flailing.
His plan is to have Jason go to Elm Street and start killing people, because then people will assume it's Freddy and the fear will start back up.
Yeah. He's only kind of right, though. Like, Freddy, I think, unless I'm misunderstanding this, I've seen this movie a couple of times, but like the parents are all giving him that Hypnocil drug, right? The parents are giving all the teens Hypnocil.
Dare I say there's a plot hole here.
So they're not dreaming. Like, they give them this drug specifically so that they won't dream.
And also, the parents are giving them that because the parents remember and fear him.
Yes, yeah.
And he, in fact, kills one of the parents.
Right.
Not that long ago.
He kills the main character's mom. How often
like
does
maybe
Freddy
5 years
kill
ago.
Adults?
Right.
Well, so it's actually, as the series progresses, he does. But anyway.
But like, I don't see what the problem here is, Fred. You know, just you're doing fine. It's weird. His entire reasoning is weird. And you're right. Again, we're learning that they give him a drug. So we get our new metal opening.
I'm just saying Freddy shouldn't feel as bad about himself. It's not that they've forgotten you, bro. They're being drugged.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, I wouldn't forget you.
No, you don't forget something like that.
The wisecracking slug demon shows up in your dreams.
Yeah, no. I've been talking about that for years.
Yeah, it'd be... It's like
in a world where...
It's 9/11, then Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
I'm never forgetting either of those things.
We haven't stepped back, by the way, and appreciated the fact that Jason and Freddy exist in the same universe, which is pretty incredible.
Hell is a wild place in this universe.
Right. The fact that they were trying to include Hellraiser, it's like, man, God is dead.
God was killed in this universe. It's not just that he's dead.
Yeah.
Like, hell in this universe is like Xavier's School for the Gifted.
Yeah.
Like, it is just spitting out superheroes.
Open door policy in hell.
Sure, let's give this guy all kinds of powers.
Yeah, fuck it.
I mean, I guess
weird and specific powers.
It makes sense here because it's hell. But like, I was thinking about the Mummy when they're like, yeah, let's curse this guy to give him all these badass powers.
Right.
Is that a curse?
Oh, I love that. Yeah, when they're like, you will be damned to be awesome.
You get all the powers of all the X-Men combined.
Yeah.
You will be Super Skrull.
Gonna bury this guy, give him superpowers, and then hope he never comes out.
Just hope we never wake him up.
We pissed him off and gave him superpowers for some reason. Anyway, we learn that Freddy isn't strong enough yet. He starts trying to kill him. Also, overall note, and this is for all the Friday the 13th, but especially this one. What's with these kids falling asleep willy-nilly? They fall asleep so fucking much.
Right.
And like they know. Yes. They fall asleep in class. They fall asleep in like when they're literally like they're having
people fall. Like we had a calculus teacher at my high school who was narcoleptic, and he would fall asleep at the board and then wake up a couple of seconds later and
Incredible.
keep going. Like, that's the only other person I've seen fall asleep like this is a real human being with literal narcolepsy.
Yeah.
Like,
they literally, one of them falls asleep while they're talking about Freddy.
Yeah, while he's talking about
like,
Freddy,
are you bored?
the dream murderer.
Yeah, are you bored of this conversation? And
I'm sorry, are you nodding off?
Right, and it's 2003.
Talking about razor fingers.
Right. This is 2003. This is the height of Ritalin. And it's just like, what are these kids doing?
You can
Get
tell
some
by
Adderall.
looking at these kids.
You can put Freddy out of business with
That's
Adderall.
why he's having so much trouble. It's not like the people of Elm Street forgot. It's like, no, all the kids are fucking on speed, Freddy.
Yeah.
Nobody's sleeping anymore.
No.
And all their dreams are about taking more speed.
Yeah. And so what we get is basically the relationships. Freddy's not strong enough yet, and he's like, I'm going to let Jason have some fun. And then he immediately gets jealous.
Yeah, I always thought that was funny about this movie. But basically, he's like, I'll find someone in hell who can scare him up. And he finds Jason like in... I guess we'll get to it. I guess.
I'll talk. We'll follow Jason, but with Freddy generally, it's just like, there can't be two Mick Jaggers, man.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think was going to happen, dude?
Yeah. Whereas, like, I'll get this other famous murderer to kill for me until I take over, and it's like,
you know how
if you're going to do that,
famously work well together,
right? Get like a mugger. Or something. Get like a low-level guy.
Right, get a lackey that you like. Get a thrall. Like that's why. Like Dracula doesn't have another Dracula run his errands for him.
Right.
Like he's got a little dude. Like get yourself a little gremlin to help you. Don't get Jason. He's gonna do his own thing.
Yeah.
It's like letting the T-Rex out.
And that's what happens. He essentially just is like, no, Jason, why are you doing this? To the point
he's like scolding him, like hitting him with a newspaper.
Yeah.
Stop killing these teens, Jason.
It makes him look so pathetic to the point that he literally, one of the kid's dreams that he haunts, he turns into the kid's dead brother who killed himself in the bathtub, and the brother comes alive and just immediately is like, Jason is out of control. I had him kill people. He just starts ranting about Jason to this kid.
Who has no idea what he's talking about.
And he's literally just like, I need you to get to Jason for me. Kid, real quick. You got to tell Jason to stop. Like,
I want us to keep hitting this as we're going through this plot. It is important to remember that Freddy has done this to himself.
Yes.
He went and Jason was perfectly content. Probably for eternity. If where Freddy finds him is where he just has been.
Yeah.
Like you probably could have left him there and he would have been fine.
Yeah.
You did this to yourself, man.
Yeah, and it's literally Freddy just calling an atom bomb in and then going like, oh God, oh no, why did I do this?
It's Beetlejuice.
It's Beetlejuice, yeah. He sucks so bad.
Don't call that guy. Yeah, Freddy
There
sucks.
are multiple medications that can defeat him. He can be defeated by a few pills. It's ridiculous.
He can be defeated by alcoholism.
Yeah, yeah.
You do not hit REM sleep when you are.
I was watching this with Hana, and the stoner. Hana was like, "Why is the stoner having an issue? Like, doesn't weed like block sleep?" And it's like, there's a lot of things that make you not dream.
Well, it doesn't block sleep. I mean,
or dreaming. Sorry, dreaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, Freddy gets so fucking... This is how much he sucks. He possesses a stoner dude to fight Jason. And I'm like, could you find a bodybuilder? Find someone with a gun? I don't know.
he zorgs into, or wargs into, rather, Kmart Jason Mewes.
Jason Mewes, yeah. It's the high. This is right around Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
This
and
is 2 years after it, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like maybe they're like, I like Jason Mewes. Can we get him? No? Well, I'm not going to change the character.
They might have been able to, but...
Yeah.
I think he was having some trouble at this time.
Oh, yeah, he might not have been gettable. And Freddy, again, I wrote down, he says something about Jason, like, time to put down this bad dog. And it's like, again, Freddy, you're so not cool, where you're like, this guy's a bad guy. And I'm like,
he's not
Freddy.
Cool like me. Haha.
Yeah, it's like, how not badass are you that you're like talking about Jason like he's a bad dog? Shouldn't you be the fucking bad dog?
You are saying this as a guy in Jay and Silent Bob cosplay wearing Jinkos.
Yeah. It's like you are rock bottom. Rock bottom, Fred. And then he gets somehow
so much.
Yeah, he gets pulled into the real world. I'm still not sure how.
I feel like that might have been
him.
I think that might have been a thing before.
Yeah.
Like I think there is some I don't think that's a new idea, but it's been a while since I've revisited some of the sequels, but it does seem way too easy to drag Freddy with you into the, like, if that was something that was possible, like that easy, you'd think he would only be like morphing into sniper rifles and killing them from like a mile away.
Yeah, he'd never risk it.
Like a fleshy sniper rifle with his face at the end of it, and he just opens his mouth and the bullet comes, ha ha ha! Like that's right, like the Freddy version of that, but that's what he would do, right? Because you would never get close enough to be grabbed and yanked into the real world.
100%, because this girl, like earlier, she bites his ear and it comes in the real world. She just
rips it off.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, so you just have to hold on to Freddy while you wake up. They're like, I could do that, you know? And then you just beat the crap out of him. You don't even need Jason. Like, you can just have a group of teens, the football team,
right,
and just have them beat him down, and you're done.
I mean, I guess we're just about there, right? Or where are we actually?
Yeah, we're there. We haven't been going through the plot. The plot is basically a group of teens are tormented about both. Freddy is not powerful enough for a while. He slowly gets more powerful. Jason gets in the way. And then the teens go, we need Jason to fight Freddy. They take Jason's side. Whoever wins, we lose. No, the opposite. Let them fight. It's Kong versus Godzilla, right? Where they're like,
yeah. Although there's a clear, like, I feel like
there's more clear in this one.
We can kind of handle Jason.
It's Jurassic World. I'm going to let out the T-Rex to fight the Indominus.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're pulling like, Jason, for one side of this. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they bring
Jason
him to Crystal
can hardly
Lake.
Be blamed for what he does.
Yeah, they bring him to Crystal Lake. This girl seems to know how to pull Freddy out of the dreams, and that's what happens in this cabin. She yanks him out, and then Freddy goes full wrestling heel, where he literally goes like, oh, and makes like a scared face.
It's the funniest face. When
it's
he's
so funny.
like looking around like, oh, and he looks and sees Jason standing there. It is fully like Ric Flair getting yanked out from under the ring at the Royal Rumble.
I think, I don't know what happened, but Robert Englund, bless his heart, I think there was no ego here, or less than you'd think, right? Like if you had a movie where Vin Diesel fought The Rock, the movie would never get made. Because they'd be like...
Right, although I do suspect that a similar thing was probably an issue for this movie because both characters belong to different studios. So the issue of who wins is probably an issue with the studio because it will make their character look less frightening by comparison forevermore.
And they tried to make it a draw, but we know who wins.
But we know. And it's also, Freddy's a pedophile, man. We're never... Come on.
And I'm sure this came out in the meeting. They're like, do you really want the pedophile to win? And that's all to say, I think they handle it right because Robert Englund clearly is being a heel. He's like, oh, I'm such a wuss.
He knows he's the villain.
Yeah. And he fights dirty because he can't face. But then he gets a few good licks in because they're like, well, we got to make him formidable.
He's quick.
Like he does, but he fights like he fights like someone fighting Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, it's John Lithgow versus Stallone.
Yeah.
Where it's like they have to fight a little dirtier because they're dealing with a tank. But boy, I guess we should talk about the next section. But
yeah,
I feel like that's a good teaser.
Yeah, let's get into it.
What's Jason up to?
Oh man. So when we first find him, he's in hell, I guess. Like we're told explicitly he's in hell, but like, because Freddy's like, I needed to go to hell to find a soul to help me murder.
Yeah, he's
again.
in hell.
He's in hell, but if where Freddy encounters him as his mom and like convinces him to wake up and start murdering once again, if that is Jason's version of hell, then it's like heaven for him, right? Because all he's doing is just murdering teens over and over again in Crystal Lake. So like, there is no like. There, like he was like his version of hell is awesome for Jason.
I think he's working behind the counter. Like my mom was talking about this with me. Like I don't know why I'm reminded of this, where she was like, worm heaven would be my hell, and it's that where I don't think he is in hell, just not his hell. He's in other people's hell. I think.
Oh, you mean
I think he's working
like he's
hell.
Staff? Yeah,
yeah, he's hell's staff. I think that's what's happening. I also want to note that this is all on Earth 2. They never say it, but canonically, this is Earth 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Crystal Lake 2. It's Elm Street 2.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is named with a 2. And then, Freddy turns into his mother, but old. And at first I was like, oh, did they get the actress? And I looked it up. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
So I just don't know why Jason's dreaming his mom age.
I think they just cast her too old.
Sure. I mean, I'm gonna say I think Jason. I'm not sure it ever clicked with him that his mom's dead.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, no, because he's pissed about it.
But then he like has the head propped up, and I imagine he talks to her. It's more of like. I don't know if Jason knows what dead is. Kind of like when a cat kills a bug and then is like, why aren't you moving anymore? Like, I wonder if Jason doesn't... It's like that sketch they did where Batman doesn't realize that he's killing people.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't kill people. And then it's like, you're obviously killing people. Like, I'm wondering if Jason just doesn't understand death.
I think we've talked about that before maybe in this series, but it seems like that's a possibility sometimes. But other times... He seems to understand it all too well.
So his victim morphs into his mom, right? And then...
Well, no, his mom's behind him.
Oh, his victims start morphing
into all the different victims.
And then his mom goes, go kill people on Elm Street. And you can tell Jason's sort of like, okay, this is a little weird, but sure. Like, you can tell he's like, it's a little sus.
Yeah, he's like, huh. Okay, Mom.
Right. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but sure.
I mean, don't tempt me with a good time.
Right, and he gets let out.
He just punches his way out of his grave. It's like, I guess it's just that simple. Like, hell has so little control over Jason.
Does he punch his way out of his grave specifically, or do we see?
We do see, yeah. We see him crawl up out of the earth.
Okay, I guess my question is for this next thing. I was like, did he go from New Jersey to Ohio?
Maybe?
It's an important question, right? Because if he was buried in New Jersey, because that's where Crystal Lake is, Ohio is where Elm Street is. That's an 8-hour drive.
It might not have been his grave. He definitely punched up through the earth.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Maybe that's just where they sent him up from hell.
Yeah, maybe he just like fast-tracked him up there.
Or that's just the way he dug, rather. Like, I feel like he just dug himself straight up out of hell. Like, they seem to have so little control over him. Down there.
Yeah. No, I think that's part of it, right? Where they're like, what are we going to do, torture Jason? No, just let him walk around.
We just kind of let him have free roam of the place.
Yeah. Like, we can't even assign him torture. He goes to Elm Street. Again, it does feel like he's like, all right. Like, it's sort of that, which is weird. Because it's like, why not just start killing people where you are or whatever? But he goes to Elm Street.
I think he's being aimed by Freddy to a degree.
It's hard to tell because Freddy's also... If he's being aimed by Freddy, why is Freddy so upset with him killing... You know what I mean? Where I'm like...
At least at first he was.
Yeah. His hair's long. He let it out in hell.
He's like, he's like Sean Connery in The Rock.
Yeah. And then he just walks up these stairs and stabs a dude forever.
He sure does. He kills Trey. Is that his name? Trey?
Trey.
Like, forever. He kills this dude so hard. He stabs him, I don't know, 12 times and then folds the bed in half.
Right, and then he just sort of stops.
And then he leaves.
Yeah, because the kids go downstairs and flag a cop. Yeah, and I'm like, when has a cop stopped you, Jason? And he just is like, I'm good.
He just wanders through the neighborhood and finds himself at Blake's house next.
But it takes like hours. It might be a day, right? Because the cops, they do all the stuff, and then Blake goes home to his dad.
I think it's later the same night.
I don't know, because Blake learns, this is when Blake is like, I'm going to get that Freddy. I heard it's named Freddy. So yeah, it's got to be, but it must be hours later. So yeah.
Yeah, it's later the same night, but Jason's just been, going up and down the street. He's probably hiding in Blake's house at this point.
It must be. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know how I guess Freddy maybe like he checked in with Freddy at this point. Like maybe, like you said, Freddy might be directing him. But again, it's unclear because Freddy is frustrated with Jason's actions too. Like the next kill, I think the very next kill, Freddy is like, hey!
Yeah, that's after this though. Like when he kills Blake and Blake's dad, Freddy's like, I'm not strong enough yet, because he wasn't able to kill Blake himself.
Right, he's like, I'll let him do it. It's the kill after that. So he kills Blake's dad, and I'm curious how you think this happened. Because Blake has a dream, wakes up, and his dad's next to him on the porch. And his dad looks normal, and then his head falls off.
Mm-hmm.
No blood. So what, I guess, and then here's the other part. Is his head falls off, and then Blake looks from his dad and looks behind him to where Jason is standing.
Mm-hmm.
So what did Jason do? The most realistic thing I can guess is that he leaned in, chopped off his dad's head real quick, and then like backed up away. But why was his dad sitting there? Why didn't his dad see? Was they both asleep? Did he chop off his dad's head ahead of time and prop him there?
I think it's that thing, right? Like Jason's getting back into it. Like he's getting his wiggles out. Like he's been in hell for a while. Yes. So like he got, he's stretching his legs with Trey. That's why he stabbed him forever. And now he's getting back into his little fun and games that he likes to play. So yeah, I think he was like hiding in the Blake house. He chopped his dad's head off and then went outside and set him up in the seat next to Blake.
Real quiet. He also
probably giggling to himself.
Yeah, he cleaned the blood.
He did.
There's no blood. So he took a towel. He went and got a towel, cleaned it all off.
I'm just picturing like Jason
propped it there.
Like gloves and like a hairnet. Just mopping up.
He must have
crime scene cleanup.
I guess we don't see the floor, but he definitely took a towel to the dad. There's no blood. He might have changed the shirt of the dad.
Probably, yeah.
Like, it seems like if there was no blood like that, that's a really elaborate setup.
Right, because, like, Blake's dream lasts, 30 seconds? Maybe not that long, 20 seconds?
It's hard to tell because you know how it is. It's Inception, right? Time passes differently.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, 20 seconds, so that's, in dream time, what is that, 6 hours?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
So Jason had some time.
Night. Yeah.
So he set him up on the seat next to Blake and then stood like kind of off to the side, but just around, like, because he's still on the porch, apparently.
Yeah.
So it's either he's crouched down just out of Blake's peripheral vision, or he's clinging to the ceiling of the porch.
It might be that.
Like Tom Cruise.
He's hoping that Blake will look at his dad before he looks at him.
Right.
And he's right. He's a pro. He's done this a lot.
He does this a lot. Yeah, sense. He's getting his wiggles out.
Yeah,
making sure he's still got it.
Yeah, he kills Blake and then he just takes a day.
Yeah,
because a day passes, and he's just on vacation. I don't know. He's probably just getting the lay of the land. He doesn't go out much. He's been in hell.
He's probably trying to figure out where he is,
and he had one trip to New York.
That's true.
Space. Yeah. He did go to space. Yeah, you're right. He
just sort of woke up in space, though.
That's true. Yeah, he's getting his bearings, but he takes a day, basically. He goes, I don't know where.
He's probably just seeing the sights,
Yeah. The next time we see him, there's a cornfield rave. I assume he heard that in the distance and walked to it. He grabs a big metal pole. and he takes a while
on his way inside the rave.
Yeah. And then he just sort of like circles.
It's another important Jason skill, right? It's the improvised weapon. So
yes.
he's getting all the cobwebs out. He's redoing the tutorial missions.
Right. And as we're going to learn, he doesn't really care if everybody sees him.
No.
Because that's going to happen later. But he's sort of scoping out the rave. And I think my theory is a couple of reasons. One, no one's told him what a rave is.
He's not seen one before.
Yeah. He suspects it's probably sex related.
Any gathering, sex adjacent. Yeah, any gathering of teens and music and alcohol.
Right.
Like he can tell.
The other thing is, and maybe this is a controversial statement, I don't think he knows what a cornfield is. I think this is the first time he's in one. Because New Jersey, the woods where that takes place, not a lot of cornfields. Maybe some farms. He's killed some farmers, but they're always been like these weird, like, maniacs.
Yeah.
Like they don't farm anything. And then space in New York, there's no cornfields.
Own weird general stores and eat fish food out of the container.
Exactly. Like, I'm not saying there's no cornfields in New Jersey. I'm just realizing I don't know if Jason's been in one or been near one.
I don't think so, no. I mean,
because it's great for him. He's like, everywhere is cover.
Yeah, like he seems to just be standing there for a minute, just kind of like soaking it in.
Yeah, he walks in on a attempted rape.
He does.
Yeah,
I have written down feminist ally Jason Voorhees thwarts a rape.
He does thwart a rape. I mean, it's still unfortunate for the victim.
Right.
He thwarts the rape and makes her a different kind of victim. Basically, he's like, well, I'm just going to murder you.
He might not. It's unclear whether he's even realized he's done it.
Right.
Because he just stakes through glow stick rapist with his pipe and flings him. No shit.
I wrote this down. It is a new power.
Comical distance.
Yeah, Jason has a new power in this one. I think Freddy might have juiced him a bit because he has the ability to toss people 50 feet more than that.
Jason has always had super strength. Like that's not a new thing, but we're really seeing
he launches this guy in an unusual distance.
Right, it's I think he's retained some of that Uber Jason DNA.
For sure.
This is the strongest he's ever been.
It's incredible.
It is.
He flings this guy so fucking far.
I hadn't thought about it until watching this movie this time for this show. I guess I just took it for granted because he does superpowered things all the time, like shove that lady's face through the wall in the RV and Jason Lives.
Right. But he's never used that strength to catapult something.
Right.
Like, we've never seen him throw. It's like Superman throwing a baseball. It's
right.
like, oh shit, Jason can throw.
Right. He throws like a 180-pound glow stick rapist, like 100 yards at least.
Yeah. Yeah, he vanishes. He just vanishes into the night sky.
It's a Hulk move.
It is.
So we see this and we're like, well, Freddy's not winning that.
Yeah, exactly.
He does just rip his arm off at the end.
He sure does. It is T-Rex power. He has T-Rex power.
He really does.
And then in this cornfield, so he flings that guy. No. He goes to the edge of the party and sees two stoner guys. And he just stands there like a scarecrow. And I think Jason is just sort of thinking about because he's familiar with stoners.
Oh yeah.
He'll kill them. But I don't know. He's clearly thinking about something. Maybe he's thinking about how far he flew that guy a minute earlier.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe he's realizing like Beast, like his mutation has advanced.
Right. Or you know what he might be thinking? He might just be thinking, how am I going to kill these guys?
That's probably it.
Yeah, because he just sits there for a second. He lets the guys talk to him, and then he just twists one of their heads around. And he's like, "Oh, that was fun."
I think it might have been like he's digging the corn, right? So he probably just stopped and he's like, "They can't see me. These guys can't see me." And then after a minute,
they're talking to me.
Oh, they're talking about me. All right. Just very, very casually snaps the guy's neck. Yeah, they light him on fire, and he really doesn't seem to care
No, there's an overall vibe of Jason in this one, all the way to Freddy. If I could describe Jason in one word, it's unimpressed. And I think it's because he's seasoned, he's worldly, he's been to space, he's been to the big city,
been to hell.
Yeah, this is another day.
He has fought an X-Man. Like, I have this written down a little bit further in the notes, but like, I think part of the reason he's so thoroughly unimpressed with Freddy during their fight is because he's realized at that point that Freddy doesn't have any powers.
Right.
Like, he's fought a person with powers before, and he was on tilt then, but as soon as it's clear to him that Freddy can't do anything that, like, his normal victims can't do, he's just like, oh, well, I've got this guy. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Like, even when Freddy's got him in the dream, he doesn't seem impressed because he's been there.
He's like waiting for he's basically just waiting for his turn in the dream. Like when Freddy drops the water thing on him, he's like, haha. Jason's like, all right. He throws it off of himself.
Yeah. Because again, Tina Shepard, that fight, he was like, what the fuck?
Yes. That was him on tilt. Like, that was him experiencing there's fucking superpowers.
Yeah, he's been hurled through the atmosphere of the earth. He knows that he has infinite lives because every time he dies, he just goes to hell or possesses people or whatever.
Right, and hell is awesome for him.
Yeah. He's Agent Mulder in the revival. He's old Mulder. He's seen it all.
He really is.
He's not that impressed. He's Indiana Jones in the last one. He's just like,
he's skipping the stealth phase. I think part of that is because he's not at Crystal Lake, so he's not doing his normal, like,
he's on vacation,
fanning out. Like, he's not making any attempt to Solid Snake his way through this one. He skips that stage entirely.
He's not protecting territory.
No.
He's, if anything, he's like, I guess this is my new stomping ground for a while. I guess, when in Rome.
Yeah, this is Jason's version of making biscuits.
Yeah.
Like when he's finding a new spot on the bed. He's just got to machete a lot of people.
Exactly. He's got to claim his spot. So he gets lit on fire, and then he just sort of walks into the party.
Yep.
Everybody screams. And then he accidentally cuts a keg, and it puts him out. And he's like, cool. Like, that's it.
I love his instinct to walk into the rave while on fire. It's
yes, very
bro,
good.
You understand raves.
Right. Honestly, I was like, the rave should just dance harder when he walks in.
Honestly, yeah.
Like, yeah. He also, I think, knows that this is like Freddy's thing. It's like sort of like you're helping your friend move, and you're like, I'll help, but I'm not gonna
think
help
Freddy steered him towards this place because he does want Jason to rack up some kills so people get scared. It's just when he loses Gib because Jason, honestly, seemingly accidentally or unintentionally stabs her as he's killing Glowstick Rapist. But like, that's when Freddy starts to get mad at him.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think you're right.
She has a dream and Freddy tries to kill her and then he kills her first.
Yeah.
I guess Jason's attitude is like he's quiet quitting. Like, he took on this gig. It's like he took on this gig with Freddy and now he's realizing the gig is kind of bullshit.
Yeah, and Freddy sucks. He's a horrible partner to have.
Yeah, and so he's like on fire walking around just like, I don't know about this. And he's just chopping kids. Like, he doesn't even do anything that cool here. He like throws the machete and that's cool, but then he just chops like 4 people. He's just like,
Yeah, almost seems like at the end of that scene, he's just kind of cleaning up.
Yeah.
Like he's like half-heartedly chopping at people. It's like, go on, get out of here.
And then everybody fucks off because they're being murdered. And then he takes some time again. He wanders to the mental institution. Again, I don't know if at this point, it's like, why would Freddy be instructing him? He wants to kill him.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why Jason goes that way.
No, he just sort of gets.
He just sort of shows up there.
Yeah, maybe he's following Freddy. Maybe he has a way to detect Freddy, even though Freddy's in the dream world. Like, he knows that these people are like, oh, these kids. Maybe he's overheard them talking about Freddy, and they're like, yeah, that guy sucks too. Like, I don't know what he's doing.
We're not sure what pieces of dialogue Jason is retaining. That's true.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to react to any of it.
No. And then he goes into the mental institution, starts killing people there.
Sure.
Freddy gets mad and then he possesses the stoner. And before the stoner gets super murdered, he manages to drug Jason. Because again, Freddy sucks so much he has to drug him. And that also implies that Jason doesn't sleep otherwise.
Of course
it implies that Jason never sleeps.
Of course he doesn't. Why would he? Like the weirder thing to me that this implies is that Jason can sleep.
Yes.
It's like, really, does injecting him with drugs work? Because, like, I don't think his heart is pumping.
No. He doesn't get tired.
No. Doesn't ever seem to eat.
Yeah.
Never takes a drink of water.
No. Doesn't need it.
He seems like he can just keep going.
Yeah. And in this moment, the funniest thing happens to Jason. In my opinion, funniest thing has ever happened to him. He gets moved. He gets transported.
They drag
like the
him.
T-Rex in the Lost World.
They drag him into the Mystery Machine and drive him to New Jersey.
These amazing teens. We'll talk about these maniac teens.
Oh my God!
We should take him, and I'm like, no, you shouldn't. But yes, you should do it.
It is 100% the ET scene where, like, the older brother steals the truck.
Yes.
Like, they have E.T. in the back of this truck, and it's fucking Jason.
They kidnap Jason. He gets abducted by teenagers.
Oh, man.
And boy, like, they should know. They're like, if he wakes up, he's going to super murder us for this.
Right.
Like, this is an offense.
Right. He's gonna be extra mad.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be inside a car. Are you kidding me?
Oh, my God.
He'll freak out.
And they put him in, like you said, the back of the van and drive him 8 hours.
Remember what happened the last time he found himself in a moving vehicle was the RV in Jason Lives. He crashed that fucking thing.
Right. 8 hours. They stopped to get snacks and to use the bathroom.
They had to.
They listened to music. They had conversations.
Yeah.
With Jason just in the back.
They told a joke. Like, somebody told a joke and they all laughed at it. With Jason laying in the back.
Just sleeping
like bags
in the back.
Of sod.
Yeah.
Just in their van.
That is so fucking funny.
And they have Nerdermeyer keep injecting him with the sleep drug.
Abducting Jason. And they're doing it again. It literally is the ending of Lost World where they're like, we have to bring him back to his natural habitat, Crystal Lake. Like, he doesn't belong here. He needs to be returned to the wild.
Honestly, he'll kill less people.
Yeah.
Just put him in Crystal Lake and leave him alone. That's like the biggest thing we've learned from this show.
That's the thing. They get him. Jason makes friends in this one. I think he genuinely, he's still going to kill them, but he genuinely thinks of them as allies. Yeah, where he's like, you get it. Bring me to my home. I just want to be in my home. And you brought me home. Thank you. While he's there, he's dreaming. And he is unimpressed.
Yeah, Freddy just takes him to his boiler room.
Yeah, he chops off Freddy's arms. They grow back, and Jason's like, cool, more arms for me to chop off, bro.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Freddy is like wailing on him, like knocks him around like a pinball and says, tilt, because Freddy's got jokes. Yep. Throws like a big water tower on him, does all this heinous like Terminator 2 fight scene shit to him. But Jason is just watching him. It really does seem like he is just patiently waiting for his turn.
Yeah, he's just like, this is dumb.
It's like, okay,
this is dumb.
All right, now it's my turn. Like, because like, does Jason? Because like you can't even hurt him in real life. So like, what is beating him up in a dream gonna feel like? Like what?
Right, it's like he's going against Ted Cruz at a rap battle. Like he's just waiting to be like, I'm going to destroy this guy once he's done. This guy sucks, and he's not fun, and he's lame, and I'm going to wreck him when he's fucking out of breath. He's suddenly scared of water, which I said boo to, thumbs down. One thing I would change in this. As like Freddy makes water show up, and Jason is hesitant. And it's like, we know famously he's better in water.
He's like an aquatic creature at this point.
Yeah, he's a fucking dolphin. He goes in water all the time. The last shot of the first movie is Jason coming out of water. He's fine in water. Why are we trying to make him scared of water? Bullshit. I want to do my fucking Topher Grace cut and just cut that out. I do not recognize it.
It's weird, yeah. It's also like isn't really necessary. But I guess it
doesn't do anything.
I mean, it's because
time.
He stays asleep because they keep injecting him. But they had to. Yeah. You have to have. It's wrestling rules, like, right? Because you mentioned he's a full-on wrestling heel. We got to see the face lose once, so that when he beats him at WrestleMania, it matters more. It's more exciting.
It also, the teens, and this goes later, but the teens and the writers get excited about a realization, which is they go, wait, Freddy's was killed by fire. Jason was killed by water. It's poetry. So they must be scared of those things. And they never actually used it, that idea. No. They just point it out, and it's like, that, like, okay, yeah, like, that's neat. Jason was killed by drowning. Freddy was burned. But that's kind of it. It's like, oh, that's neat. Is it anything? No, not really.
No, you're right. They really do point it out, and then just it does not come back into play. Like, but they do it in a way that, like, it's like when Katana tells Liu Kang to win your next fight, use the element which brings life. Yeah. Like, it feeds directly into how we beat Sub-Zero. Like, it's treated like that. They're like, wait, Freddy was killed by fire and Jason by water. Maybe we can use that. And then it literally never comes back.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. And technically, fire and water are in both. Like, I think what they mean is they use fire to blast them into Crystal Lake, right?
Yeah.
So that's fire and water. But, like, they could also shoot.
It's just an explosion. Like, they have to dive out of the way of the explosion.
Right. And also, spoilers, it doesn't kill Jason.
It doesn't kill either
or
of them.
Freddy, yeah.
Like,
so
Jason
none of it matters.
Kills Freddy. Well, Jason and then the main character lady kills Freddy.
But mostly Jason. So we then go inside Jason's mind, and it's straight up the cell.
Yeah.
His mind palace. We see his mind palace, and it is just completely made up of corpses.
It's like a swamp from The Witcher.
Yeah.
It's a swamp with his shack in an island in the middle of this bog, and it's just full of corpses. He has a corpse lagoon behind his swamp shack.
Yeah, it's a swamp made of corpses, and he goes in his shack, and what's in the shack is more corpses. It's just it's like sort of I didn't know what else to expect.
I don't know what else I expected. Yeah, and which is so fucking funny. I mean, it's like right before this is when Freddy is like drilling into Jason's skull because like, oh, you're afraid of the water. Let's see what else we've got. What does he say exactly? Oh, he's like, let's see what other skeletons you've got in your closet. And that's when he finds like this mind palace, and it's like, are you trying to find a source of guilt?
You're trying to find dirt
for Jason?
You're gonna go in there and see that he shot Kennedy, and just be like, "Don't tell anyone, man! Don't tell anyone."
Or like
I'm gonna go to jail if they like. It's like, yeah, Jason, he's an open book, baby.
Well, and it's like that's how Freddy operates, right? Like we see him do this in this film to Will's
he preys
friend,
on your
like,
guilt and
right,
your fears.
Like he makes him see his dead brother and shit like that. So he's like presumably looking for something like that in Jason Voorhees?
Right. Say what you want about Jason. He's out there. He's wide open.
Mm-hmm.
He is not deceitful.
He is.
He has no secrets.
He is unambiguous.
Yeah. It is so funny. It's
like the skeletons in his closet are just actual skeletons.
It's like when you're playing a video game and when you're first playing, you're like, ooh, what's around this corner? Maybe this game. Nope, nothing. Okay, it's that kind of game. Like it's that where it's like, okay, nothing in there. Got it. Like, I don't know why I checked.
Don't know why I thought there would be something in there. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely nothing I can use against him.
Yeah. Meanwhile.
He feels no shame. It's actually kind of beautiful.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they do CPR on Jason.
They have to. Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child does CPR on Jason.
Yep. And he freaks out because it's kind of like kissing. And Jason, again, in the funniest
That's
moment,
what brings him, that's what wakes him up.
The kissing, yeah.
Because he thinks it's sex.
He wakes up like he has a spider on his face. He's like, ah, fuck! Like he freaks out. It's very funny.
It's the most alarmed we've ever seen Jason in this series, and that includes when Tina's beating his ass with psychic abilities.
He wakes up like a lot of people wake up, where if you're suddenly waked up and not expecting it, like a fire alarm went off, and you're just like, no, what, God, oh shit, like it's that. and everybody freaks out in the van.
Yes. Like a bee got loose.
Yeah. The van crashes. And Jason flies through the air.
Yeah, he does.
Like a missile. He soars like he was thrown by himself. He clears like 50 feet out of that van.
That's how he flies like Thor. He just throws himself.
He just goes right out of that van. It's like a Weekend at Bernie's thing that would happen. His body just ragdolls.
It literally does happen in Weekend at Bernie's. Yeah. He gets thrown from a car at one point.
Yeah. He just ejects and flies like a cannonball right into Crystal Lake. And they're like, not the lake, but the grounds. Yeah. And the teens are like, well, that's convenient. Yeah, well, we're there.
Saves us the trouble of having to drag his heavy ass out of the van. But yeah, like I said, funny. What did I say? Jason hates being in cars as soon as he wakes up.
I enjoy this movie.
Oh, it's great.
I think it's one of the better movies, in my opinion. And It never occurred to me that. But watching it, I'm like, I love, like, this is like Jason 6 level.
It is.
Shit.
It is.
Where it's like, you are flinging people around on the screen.
It's slapstick as hell, and the kills are good. They don't pull. It's actually a little grotesque. Like the opening credits were kind of grotesque to me.
Yeah.
Where it just dices up all this flesh and then like sears the title onto more flesh. Like, yeah, no, so this is like, I think this is one of my favorites of the series for sure.
Yeah. So Jason's back, baby.
Yeah, he is.
He's back home, and he's just like, let's get back to business. They do a shot, and I really appreciated this shot, and it made me realize that you can still make Jason scary. It's a single shot you could tell the director was like, I want an iconic Jason shot. Because the teens crash, they get out, and then they have an oh shit moment. It's sort of like the roar of the T-Rex in Jurassic Park, hearing that, where you see this landscape of Crystal Lake, the fog, and like the cabins, and Jason just walking through the fog. And it felt like they were like, let's make an iconic Jason shot to show like, he's back. We're in Crystal Lake, motherfuckers. And
he's powering up. This is his Kamehameha power up episode.
Exactly. And then he just starts killing again. Mm-hmm. He just starts wrecking kids.
Well, he doesn't get anybody immediately, right? Like he goes into, they're trying to wake Lori up, who's the main character.
Oh, right.
So Jason wakes up. He's like, I'm back home, baby. Let me go see my friends. They're in that cabin. So he's trying to thank his friends. It's just with Jason thanks his friends with machete hacks.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to kill you real good.
He's trying to kill Lori.
Yeah.
He slaps Nerdermeyer into a little coat book or something.
He kills the shit. It's one of those things that you hang a shelf on.
That's right. It's like a shelf bracket.
Shelf bracket.
It's a bad thing to be impaled on.
No, it's not good.
It's not good.
He does not survive.
He does not. He does not.
Yeah. So, and then Jason's about to kill her, and then they blink in Freddy, and Jason's like, okay.
Right, yeah, I like that he's immediately like, oh, this motherfucker.
Yeah, and he's like, never mind, kids, wait in the van.
Right, he only has eyes for Freddy at this moment.
Yep. And the first thing he does is he starts throwing them around the house, just like a fucking dummy, just like slams him through the windows.
He does the post to post thing. Like it's a WWE fight. He's kicking the shit out of Freddy.
It really is a WWE fight. He just starts he's taking down the house with Freddy.
Yeah.
And then he tosses him. He tosses him like a fucking Muppet all the way into another house. He goes so hard that Freddy falls through the roof of another house.
I honestly don't know why the next shot wasn't Freddy getting up and running.
Yes.
just flat out running into the woods.
Yeah. Changing his life.
You see him
on the ending of American History X. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Cut to him desperately trying to roll the van back over.
Yeah. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Kids, help! Help! Please!
We gotta get out of here! We gotta get out of here!
Yeah.
I know how to push start this thing. Come on.
Because what happens, it really does feel like fighting a T-Rex. Because what happens is Jason does not care to dodge. So
No.
Freddy just starts throwing everything at him. They try to fight hand in hand. That doesn't really work. He fires tanks. There's apparently construction at Crystal Lake. Very weird construction. I believe they get hit with a minecart at one point.
I guess they're building like a roller coaster, it looks like.
Yes. It's almost as if, a sequel should take place at a theme park built at Crystal Lake. But go on. Right. But they're building something.
Yeah, so something that requires giant oxygen tanks.
Yeah.
Or tanks of compressed air of some kind.
Too many.
I guess it's gas? I don't know.
And so he starts firing them at Jason. And at first I was like, he's an action star. He's like casually walking through the tanks as they're going by. And I'm like, that's so cool. And then one of the tanks hits him. And I was like, Jason, you got to duck there, buddy.
One of them hits him. And then a second one takes him even farther. It's very funny.
But he doesn't care.
No.
Because then
he's not,
Freddy...
like I mentioned earlier, but at this point, he's realized Freddy has no powers.
Right. He's like, what are you going to do? Kill me?
This is some clown. All right.
Yeah. Maybe this guy's a little sneaky and a little
I'll lose some limbs,
get him.
But when has Jason... Jason has never really attempted to dodge or block anything.
Right. And you get the feeling Jason has started to know where the kill is, where he's like, I'll get this one kill and then I'll probably die, but it's fine. I'll get this one kill.
I think he seems to sense
that,
right?
Yeah, you're right.
It's I will obliterate myself as long as I get this one kill. That's all I care
right,
about.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. But he doesn't care. And then Freddy starts scurrying. He gets up on the construction. He throws a bunch of rebar down. Same deal.
Jason does looks not at it. He's just watching it fall.
Does not care.
It's like each time Freddy does something like this, Jason's like, It's reminded me of Archer when Pam's getting worked over.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, doesn't you better fucking kill me.
Yeah, exactly. It really is that. Yeah. He gets hit with a minecart.
That's the best you got, buddy? All right.
Yeah. And finally, Freddy manages to cut off Jason's fingers. And Jason does seem confused, like a robot malfunctioning. He's like, I can't grip. Why can't I grip?
He doesn't understand why he dropped his machete.
Yeah, because he doesn't feel pain. Like Jason, he's like Novocaine. He's like the movie Novocaine at this point. Of course he doesn't feel pain. Then he gets stabbed in the eyes.
Which doesn't seem to handicap him in any way.
No, he doesn't see.
Does he? One of his eyes is already alien. Gone.
He's like the xenomorph alien where you're like, does he have eyes? Or is it does he sense the heat around him? Right. I feel like Jason senses a total, if you ever saw what Jason saw at this point, it'd be like Predator vision.
Oh, yeah.
He probably sees himself in third person.
It'd be we wouldn't know what we were looking at.
Yeah. Exactly. It'd be like seeing what a fucking AI sees.
Yeah.
He gets stabbed in the eyes and he starts to lose a little bit, and he gets bailed out by the teenager who distracts him with fire. And then, they get blown into the water, right? Very, very, it's another I Made a Friend. She drops the machete in the water. And I think
she sees him, because she can see him sinking, and she drops the machete in after him.
Right, and he's thinking thank you.
I genuinely think that's what it was. I genuinely think she's tossing in the machete, as a just in case.
This is yours.
Well, just in case that dude isn't dead.
Right.
Because she just wanted to kill Freddy. She's got nothing against Jason.
Right.
Even though Jason did kill her best friend.
Freddy takes a while
to
kill.
Quite spectacularly.
Yeah, Jason has to. Oh yeah, good. Yeah, that was the only good Freddy kill. We'll talk about that.
Is it really a Freddy kill?
I forget. We'll get to that.
Because she's making fun of him, and she says, "You just have these little butter knives." Right. And Jason's got this big old thing, and he just kind of points behind her, and she turns and it's Jason, and he hits her.
Oh wait, Jason! It's a Jason kill.
It's
You're
a
right.
Jason
Never
kill,
mind.
and it's another one where she flies.
Yep.
100 yards into a tree.
I forgot about that kill because it's also Jason being an ally, considering that she uses the F slur.
Which is funny because it comes after Freddy Krueger saying, "How sweet, dark meat."
Right, and I was like, that's racist, Freddy, you piece of shit. And then she drops an F slur, and I'm like, all right, I guess fuck both of them. Like,
there's a great a bit that Kumail Nanjiani says where he talks about seeing this movie, and at that line, the dark meat line, like the theater groaning, and he's like, really? Are we disappointed in Freddy Krueger?
That's great.
Like,
but it also played into me being like, he's such a piece of shit. Even more, like, I'm like, oh, great, he's racist too. All right. Yeah.
It's the kind of joke that Freddy makes, right?
For sure. But it does feel like Jason is just like, whoa, not cool. And so, yeah, LGBTQ ally Jason.
Yeah, like I really gasped at that one, right? I remembered the dark meat line, so it was like, well, I knew that one was coming,
right?
And,
but at this point,
it's Freddy being a piece of shit, so doesn't hit as hard. But
Jason wants nothing. She's supposed to be good.
We'll
talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll talk about her. Yeah. But Jason wants nothing more than to kill Freddy until that moment, and he's like, wait, no, I got to kill this person. So yeah, ally Jason.
And it's also the thing that we talked about. Like, they're his friends, but he'll still kill you if you get in front of him.
Yeah,
he's the T-Rex. Don't get in front of his mouth.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And then he stabs Freddy with his own glove. Everybody leaves, and then we see Jason having apparently cut off Freddy's head underwater.
Oh no! She does that to him.
Oh right, she does. You're right. He grabs his head, and the last shot is him leaving with his head.
Yeah. And he carrying Freddy's head up to his swamp shack.
Yeah, like it's a lunchbox. And he's just like, I'm going to go bring this to my collection.
Put this in my headroom.
This is a cool head.
I do want to hit the ending that when he comes up out of the water to stab Freddy with his own hand, he falls back in the water after he does it. So he's consciously rescuing his friends there. Yeah,
you're right. He doesn't need to do that.
No, he didn't need to do that at all.
Yeah.
Also, he didn't resume his attack on Freddy. He just fell back in the water.
Yeah, he was like, man, I need a beat.
Some part of him understood that Laurie needed to finish the job.
Yeah.
And she tosses him his machete, just in case that motherfucker's not done. And Jason's like, I got you. I'll carry him to my swamp shack.
Yep. And then Freddy winks like, I'm actually alive. And I'm like, are you Freddy?
Are you though?
Or are you an eternal head in Jason's shack?
Because it seems like this is a bad shake. It seems like things shook out pretty badly for you here.
He's got real lost in argument on social media vibe. He's like, actually, I triggered you. And it's like, no, I'm pretty sure you're a decapitated head.
It's real Dennis Miller coming up with a retort 3 days later energy.
Exactly. And that's all to say.
You're already in my headroom, dude.
Right. Yeah. Like, in the question of Freddy versus Jason, I think it's very clear. One of them is walking around, and the other one is a decapitated
head.
Yeah.
Going to be added to his trophy room of heads.
Yeah. That brings us to the second best monsters.
Honestly, just real quick, because it's technically the end of this continuity of Jason, what a lovely place to leave him at. He finally made friends.
It actually is a really good arc. Like, he makes a teen saves him from the water.
At long
last. That happens in his dream.
Somebody
saves him.
Finally saves him. So they actually give him mouth to mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. He gets an arc. Jason basically ends with him going like, I guess teens aren't all bad. And that's it. Like, it's sort of like Picard's relationship with Q. Like, in the end, he's like, yeah, I still don't like him, but, not terrible. I guess there's some humanity in these teens after all. They don't all just fuck and neglect poor Jason. Some of them, that's all he needed. He just needed a friend.
That's it. He just needed somebody to care about Jason for once.
Yeah. It's kind of sweet.
These
You're
kids
right.
did, yeah. They were on Jason's side. He's never had anybody on his side before.
He's never. Yeah. All right. Second best monsters.
Second best monsters. I mean, obviously Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy's there.
Freddy's like the biggest piece of shit in cinema.
He really is. Such a dirtbag.
What a scumbag.
Yeah. But the person that I want to call out is Lori, the main character, because as we just said, it's pretty impressive to befriend and create an ally of Jason Voorhees. Like, that is
in like an
something.
Evening.
Yeah, like the only other person I can think of who's done that is Satan. Like,
it's an uneasy alliance there.
Jason's friend group, yes, but Jason's friend group is Satan and Lori, as far as I can tell. But yeah, you're right.
I think that's right. Like, I think
Satan's more of an associate.
I think Freddy is experiencing a little bit of what Satan experienced when he was like, "This guy shall be an immortal zombie."
Yeah, this guy's a lot.
Shit. He's not doing anything I tell him.
That's true. Yeah. Lori is the one who says, "Wait a minute, Freddy died by fire and Jason by water. How can we use that?" And then everybody goes quiet, and it's like when someone has a bad idea in a meeting, and they all just pivot.
You just pivot, yeah. So moving on.
Also, yeah. I also have to note, and this is sort of her entire friend group, so I can't put it on her. After the cornfield massacre, they all just go home.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even go to the cops. They act like they had a bad night. They go like, "Oh God, let's all just go home." And
right,
they
like
disperse.
It was just like a bad party.
Yeah. They witnessed a mass murder.
Right. They're leaving like they witnessed like a really ugly breakup at a party.
Yeah.
And not like Jason on fire hacking people to death.
Yeah. They just go to their respective houses. They don't even say like I get maybe if they're like, the town's in on it, we can't go to the town. Okay. Don't go to your separate houses.
Yeah.
You know the stakes. At that point, they would be like, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's do, something. They just go home. They just go, oh, well.
Right. And then at the cornfield, like Lori, the girl who dies there, Gib, that's her best friend, or like one of her two best friends, or the one Kelly Rowland. So like they just had their best friend killed, and they're just like, oh, we'll go home.
Right. She's sad, but sad in the way of like hearing about 9/11 on the day, where it's like assuming like you don't know anybody involved in it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like she's like, that's so sad.
Well, you're gonna
that's a tragedy.
Right. You're gonna sit there eating ice cream.
Right. Life goes on.
Right. You're gonna be bummed about it, and yeah, but it doesn't
you'll be horrified about it, but not like I need to go to the cops. I'm gonna shut down emotionally.
Yeah.
We need to like. She's just sad.
Kind of sad.
And then we noted they kidnapped Jason. Her and her friends drive 8 hours to Crystal Lake. These are all incredible things to do.
Road trip with Jason.
Right. And then she finds herself teaming up with Jason Voorhees to kill Freddy. She literally at a point where they are about to escape and she goes, "No, I need to see this through." Amazing.
Yeah, it's like he's about to speed away on a motorboat with her, like to safety, and he's like, "Freddy's fighting Jason. What more do you want?"
Yeah.
It's an incredible line.
Yeah, we found the engine. We found the battery. Or the propeller and battery.
The propeller and gas, right?
Yeah.
Gas and propeller.
Gas. It's gas, you're right.
Yeah.
It's gas and propeller. And we gotta go. We gotta go. But no, she's like, I want to see what happens next.
She's every one of us, right?
Yes,
like,
she is.
Freddy's fighting Jason. What more do you want? Kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want.
Incredible. Will Rollins, I noted, he's not really a maniac. He just does the worst job at sneaking around the high school.
Right.
He's so sketchy.
Well, he escapes from a mental institution and just immediately goes to high school.
Yeah.
Like he is a known person. He makes no attempt to hide the fact that he and his friend have busted out.
Yeah, not even a mustache. Get a mustache.
Also, it's Jason Ritter.
Yeah, sure is.
Mr. Melanie Linsky.
Yep. His friend Mark also in the hospital with him. I have to note when Mark accidentally gets to Lori before Will, and he basically does the early Friday the 13th like bum on the street. He's like, "You're doomed." Like, and it's like, what are you doing, man? How?
Yeah, like why would you?
He's like, Freddy's gonna get ya. Like, it's like that. And it's like, and then later he realizes that Freddy's power is fear. And he's like, oh, I probably should have done all that fear mongering earlier. And it's like, yeah, man, you jackass. Why? Like, it's like he hasn't had a conversation in a while, and it went really badly. His first interaction.
He's behaving like a sketch comedy version of Angelina Jolie in Girl Interrupted.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he's acting like being in this facility is like kind of like he's acting a little bit like McMasters, I guess. Or wait, is that his name? No, that's not his name. Jack Nicholson in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Right, yeah. Where
McMurphy.
Yeah, right. He's not there to do anything bad. He just has to approach and go, "Hey, Laurie, we need to talk to you." But he's just like, blah!
Right, like that's what I mean.
What
like he behaves like that constantly when we see him.
Yeah,
like he's like a Tyler Durden type dude. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Right. He's also one of the kids who just falls asleep, and I'm
he
like,
falls asleep at his desk.
Why are you doing that? Nobody in the first one, they like drink coffee and they're up for days. This one, they don't even try to stay up.
They wanted to keep it at 90 minutes, man.
Yeah.
Those end credits pop up at minute 90.
Yeah. Kia.
Oh, I wanted to say real quick that to Mark, did you recognize his brother as Scott Fargus from A Christmas Story?
No, that's great.
His dead brother.
Oh, he is. You're right. Oh my God. That's funny. Kia is Destiny's Child?
Kelly Rowland, yeah, from Destiny's Child.
Yeah. I didn't know who that was. Hana realized it when I was watching. She's named after a car. Not her fault.
Not her fault. Parents were big fans of the car.
Yeah, her big thing, and this is about Laurie as well. She is a bully. Like, Laurie's best friend, Kia, the fucking nerd keeps coming up to him, and she just tears into him of like, she really wants her friend to get laid, but not with this kid.
But specifically not with Linderman, not with Nerdmeyer.
Yeah, with Linderman and...
Oh, go ahead.
She just bullies him in the meanest way while Laurie just stands there and allows it. And her arc is that she uses the power of bullying against Freddy for good by calling him the F slur.
By calling him the F slur, yeah. She also accepts that Linderman is not a piece of shit.
Right,
because he basically gets mortally injured rescuing her.
Right, he has to die.
He has to die
for her to stop bullying.
That's what I wanted to hit on. He's not like the typical, like he's not like the movie kid in Part 7. Like, he's not an incel. He seems to just be a totally normal dude.
He's a
nice guy who's just like shooting his shot.
Right. It's all like they show him also getting bullied by other jocks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I supposed to like this Kia character? Because she's just one of the bullies. And then Laurie is just allowing it. At no point does Laurie say, like, you shouldn't pick on him. Like, you shouldn't do. It's very Pendrell coded, where it's like he's bullied, he has a crush on Laurie, he dies, and Laurie's like, thumbs up, dude.
Not even Laurie. Yeah. Laurie doesn't even see him die.
Right, yeah. And it's like, that's it. And it's like, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I remember it striking me as weird at the time, too, where it was like this, why is she being so mean to this character? He doesn't do anything to deserve it.
Yeah.
He's just coming up trying to talk to Laurie, and she's like, you dumbass piece of shit. Laurie's never going to go for somebody like you.
And it's like, calm the fuck down. Gib, who is she dating Blake or Trey?
She's dating Trey. Blake is the dude that comes over with Trey that Kia is trying to hook Laurie up with initially.
Right.
And he's the one who gets a stab, gets hacked through his dad's severed head.
Yeah. She needs to get away from Trey. And luckily she does. Because Trey
feminist ally coming in. You don't need this guy.
Yeah. Because Trey's, their whole deal is, babe, let's go upstairs. Don't make me ask you twice. He's just like...
That's their whole thing, yeah.
That's their whole thing. She dreams about him, and he's an asshole in the dream.
He does the same thing. I dare say she's traumatized by him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
When Blake dies in the morning, she just very casually drops that. Where she's like, by the way, Blake's dead.
None of them really seemed to like Blake.
No, Blake is like a dog, and his death is treated like a dog's death. It's sad, but it's like...
Is it sad?
No, I guess it's not treated like a dog's death. It's treated like a worm's death.
Yeah.
Pet worm.
Gib, I just wanted to add, because I'm adding this for everybody that's notable. She's Margot on Hannibal, if you watched Hannibal.
I did not. But yeah.
She plays the Gary Oldman character's sister.
Right.
Also, I thought this was interesting because I think this might be the only case she uses a body double in this movie.
Oh.
For her shower scene. I think that's the only time that's happened in a Friday the 13th
the
movie?
Producers are like, oh, yeah, I guess you could do that. Right. I never thought about it.
But it's so funny to me that they were so insistent on this character appearing nude. Well, we'll get you a body double. Or we could just not do that scene.
They know they need boobs. It's Friday the 13th.
But there's plenty of other boobs in this movie, is my point.
Yeah, there's scores of boobs.
I just thought that was an interesting thing.
Yeah. Blake, nothing to really say except for if you took 2003 and made it a human, it would be Blake.
It's very close. Yeah, he's got that overlap from the 90s. Like I wrote down, he's wearing entirely too many rings.
Yeah.
Like he's got the late 90s ring configuration, but on the early aughts t-shirt / sweater that I had that sweater he's wearing.
Yep. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, he's like, yeah, you look at him and you like kind of avert your eyes and you're like, shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up, movie.
I didn't wear any rings though, but
yeah. Deputy Scott Stubbs.
Gosh, I forget his name he's the crazy one from Dead Man on Campus.
Dead Man on Campus, yeah.
And he's a Peacemaker.
Yeah. He joins teens to hunt Freddy, which just feels sad. That's all. He doesn't have adult friends.
He seems like the bridge between the kids and the cops, because like he's a new cop, so he doesn't know all the Freddy history.
Right, because now we get into the maniacs, which is Dr. Campbell, Laurie's father, and the town have been doing horrifying things.
Yeah.
He has been committing kids who witness Freddy. It feels like it's like there's a town conspiracy. And the entire town, he set up like a Inception style coma room, where he has all these kids like in comas that he experimented the drug on. He stalks his kid up the stairs. He's been drugging her regularly.
Yeah, ever since his wife was killed by Freddy Krueger.
Right. The whole town is doing this. They cover up Blake's death. They say it's like a murder-suicide. Mm-hmm. And it's like, was it? And I guess I have one question for all these adults setting this dystopia for teens. Why not move away?
Yeah, just move.
Is that not an option? Freddy likes Elm Street specifically. If you're putting your teens into like vegetative states and committing your sons and daughters, and you're putting your kid in like a dreamless comas every night, just move.
It's probably take a bath on their house or something.
Yeah.
Well, I can't move now.
Yeah. You're right. I guess that is an issue. Linderman, not really anything on him.
Yeah, I just had he's Barry's old war buddy in season 1 of Barry.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, you still haven't. That's right. You haven't seen Barry. Okay, so I won't say any more, but people who've seen Barry know that character. He's very significant.
Right. Freeberg, I just have to note that he just kind of is there suddenly. Like they just kind of absorb him.
He's at the rave. That's where we see him for the first time.
He just gets absorbed into the group because he just like gets in one of their cars.
Yeah.
And then he's just there for the rest of the movie. And his
arc the rest of the movie. He's there for like the next 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, his arc is he just follows these kids who's ranting about Jason and Freddy, and just gets so high that he passes out and gets possessed.
He has a green out and gets taken over by Freddy. And then
he just follows this group.
By Jason.
Yeah, it's amazing. Killed by Jason while possessed by Freddy.
Yeah, I wrote down that's like some kind of Nobel Peace Prize.
Right, no one's done that before.
That's a hard needle to thread, man.
Yeah. He also models his life after Jason Mewes.
Entirely on Jason Mewes.
Yeah, so this kid's an enigma.
It is a very embarrassing producer note, like a very embarrassingly visible producer note. Get us a Jason Mewes type.
Yeah. It's so obvious.
Yeah.
It really is like the joke in Suicide Squad where they just have like another guy and they're like, wait, when did he join us? It's that where like he just is suddenly part of the group and then he dies and they're like, who was that guy anyway? Like, huh.
Yeah, it's like the cop. He briefly becomes part of the group.
Yeah, briefly.
Briefly. Yeah.
I guess that brings us to death rank. Do you want to do death rank?
Yeah. All right. Did we go through the previous one? No, we go through all these first. I remember. Never mind.
Oh, yeah. So, in order, Dream Lady at the dock, stabbed into a tree.
That's
maybe technically not a death, but
that's like his hell murder. Yeah, he's in hell.
Yep. Trey, stabbed repeatedly through the back, folded into a bed that folds. I don't know if the bed folds.
Does it fold?
Cot? Is it a couch? Yeah, I think he is sandwiched. He's turned into a taco. Yes. He is the meat of a bed taco.
I don't think that. And I don't think
that bed folds. Yeah, I think you're right.
Because we see it. It's just a regular queen-size bed with a headboard. I think Jason just snapped that box spring in half.
Yeah. And he is stabbed for a minute in the back.
It really is like in a violent nature.
Yes.
The guy that surprises the murderer.
Yeah.
He just stabs the fucking
He's just like, oh, God, shit. Yeah.
This might be the one.
I know. Spoilers, this might be the one. But there's some other close ones.
And it's right off the bat, too, so it is breathtaking.
They knew. They're like, we got to start
We got to grab him by the ears, yeah.
Yeah. Blake's dad, head cut off and then set in place, happens off camera. Blake slashed with a machete off camera.
Through
we see
his
blood
dad's
spatter.
skull, like he holds his dad's head up to shield the machete.
Right,
but that's dumb. Don't do that. That's like chopping a coconut open, man.
Yep. Gib, I have to note, it's dark. She's being double creeped on, double assaulted. She's being assaulted in her dreams by a child molester and assaulted in real life by a raver.
By a glow stick rapist.
Yeah, she can't get a break. And then she is stabbed with a pole.
Impaled with a pole, yeah.
Raver rapist stabbed with a pole and flung 60 feet through a cornfield.
It really is like a man launched from a trebuchet.
It is. Stoner number 1, head turned completely around. Stoner number 2, which I'm told is named Shaq, the character name. These guys looked like Stoner number 1 looked almost like Christian Bale. And Stoner number 2 looked like almost a lot of comedians. But Shaq speared with a flaming machete. We have 4 party people who are all slashed by machete. Slash.
It's like he's just cleaning up. He's the janitor sweeping up the confetti at the end of the party.
Yep. Mark is the only Freddy kill.
He sure is.
I put him on this list, but he doesn't technically count. And it's a shitty kill. He slashed in the face and burned. And I was sort of like, you can survive that. But
right,
okay.
How is he dead?
You're right. It's like fucking Padme's death. Her heart wasn't in it. It's that.
He basically gets a brand on his back that says Freddy's dead. So I mean, you could die of shock.
Yeah, I guess.
But anyway, it's pretty weak in terms of a nightmare / Friday death.
Yeah. Security guard crushed by door, smushed. It's kind of fun, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Officer Stubbs is also fun. Jason is chopped. I mean, I have to explain this a little bit. He's chopped into a computer, is being electrocuted. Stubbs is too close, and so Jason just goes, "Get in here, bring it in."
It just completes the circuit.
Yeah,
he's like, "All right."
He's just like, "All right, let me grab you." That's a freebie.
It's a foreshadowing of the fight with Freddy at the end, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, well, none of this matters to me, so
yeah, fuck it. It's a Terminator kill. Freeberg possessed by Freddy and chopped in half.
Pretty good.
And when we say chopped by the waist, it's great.
Yep.
No guts when he gets chopped in half.
Not really any blood either.
It's like just a skin suit.
It's a very slapstick death.
Yep. It does slow down here. This isn't our most kills. Even when you don't count Jason X's, massacre, it's still, Linderman impaled on a shelf hanger and bleeds out.
It seems like a death from a different movie.
Yes.
Right? Like this is the dude.
He dies like he's on the battlefield.
Right. Like it's a typical It's a heroic death, but it's like from a war movie.
Yeah. Kia chopped by Jason so hard she flings into a tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's another Muppet death. And finally, Freddy Krueger, impaled with fist, arm torn off, exploded by teenager, flung into lake, stabbed with his own glove, decapitated. And technically not killed, but
added to Jason's pop collection.
Yeah.
We forgot about the impaled with the fist. I can't believe that.
Yeah, Jason punches through him.
Like at the end, like he's cut his fingers off. He's like stabbing the fuck out of him. He gouges his eyes out. And Jason still punches his hand through him like the goddamn Terminator.
He sure does. What is the best kill and why is it Trey's?
It's either Trey or Kia for me because those were the two that I always remembered. Because those are the two. Those are the laugh out loud ones.
I think I have to go with Trey because that's the most unique.
Trey is
nothing else is like that.
Stunning. Like Trey feels almost like a scary movie kill. Like it's so absurd.
Yeah, and it's unlike anything in any of these.
Yeah.
So like the whole. So I think Trey.
I think Trey. Yeah, Trey's pretty good. That's a solid one.
So that joins the list of 11. Kevin Bacon being arrowed in part 1. Mark in the wheelchair in part 2. That one's still
it's so good.
Part 3. Andy split down the middle while doing a handstand. Look what I can do. Part 4. Jason himself killed by a child. Part 5. Joey murdered by Vic with an axe.
You're really out of line, Vic.
Yep. Part 6, Sheriff Garris folded in half.
That's right.
Yep. Part 7, the classic sleeping bag kill.
Yep.
Part 8, Julius decapitated by a single bus punch while on a roof. His head rolls off into a dumpster.
Another classic.
Yep. Part 9, Jason drone striked by SEAL Team 6.
Yeah.
Part 10, Adrian face stuck in liquid nitrogen and head smashed. And Trey joins it. And so we have one more movie. And then after that, we're going to have to pick the best kill of the series.
Man, it's tough.
It is tough. But that's a story for another adventure.
Yeah. But for now, that's all. That's the end of this one.
Thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much.
Whew. Thank you to Chris Shanovich. This was fun.
Yeah. This turned out to be a really long one.
It's hard because I'm like, I want to talk about it all. There's nothing I'm like, we can skip that.
No, it's all important. This is all vital.
So right here at the end, Chris Shanovich did this through our Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed, GAMEFULLY, unemployed. We have exclusive podcasts on there like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder's Maniac, Star Trek Next Futurama, Spiel Boys, all for $5 a month. For a little more, you can watch movies with us every Friday night. We've absolutely watched this on a Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
And will again.
We will.
Check that all out. Patreon.com, Gamefully Unemployed.
Please do. We also have a store. Head over to GamefullyUnemployed.com. You can find a link to our Teespring store where we have all kinds of cool original artwork by cool original artists like Michael Vincent Branley, Starlene Hodge, Justin Brown, others. Check it out. We've got some.
Check it out.
We have Jason stuff in there. Oh, actually, maybe we don't.
I don't know.
I don't think we do, actually. But we have some fun stuff in there.
We do.
So give that a look if you want. Give us a rating. Our free stuff. Yeah. Well, this is one of them. So yeah,
this is one of them.
Rate and review. It helps us out. And check out our new show, Badical, BADICAL, wherever you find your podcasts.
Do all of those things.
It's a lot. I know it's a lot. You don't have to do it all now.
No.
You can spread it out. You can spread it out over the month.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Enjoy your Jason Day forever and ever.
Yeah. May all your swamp shacks be well organized and smelly.
Right. And you know what? Sleep tight, because we got him.
Oh, yeah.
We got Freddy.
Yeah, no. Dream away.
Remember when Jason he went on the news, he went on and addressed the nation?
And said, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him. Yep. All right. Bye.
Bye.